and welcome. This is Ashley's Heart Song. This is the place where we get out of the stress and back into our body, our life, and our business. When we tap into the song of our heart, that is when we master the mind and the stress that can steal our life. Thank you for joining me today for this episode of Ashley's Heart Song. I am your host, Ashley Torian, and today we're going to be talking all about the power of our plate, meaning what is ruling the show when you go to choose something to eat? Is it the cortisol that's raging through your body caused by stress? Or is it the ease, the passion, the energy from being courageous? Is that what is helping you to choose the food on your plate? It can get to be quite a conundrum when we begin listening to the self that is in the fight or flight mode. That cortisol is shooting off from the brain because you're in a stress response and it is swimming all around your body. Our tendency is to go towards foods that are not nourishing for our physical body. So today I'm just going to share with you a little bit more about that and how you can begin shifting this, how you can begin, I don't know, feeling more, I don't like that word control, but feeling just more at ease with the food that you're eating and the food that you're choosing to eat in any given moment. The foods that we eat can leave us feeling foggy, edgy, but what about the foods that leave us feeling good, feeling light, feeling free? It's interesting that we can choose foods that make us feel edgy. And yet, I've had a personal experience, and I know you probably have too, where you've chosen a food that wasn't necessarily on the healthy side, but you still got energy from it. You got something positive from it. And that is so possible when we simply shift our state. So I'm going to go more into that. But what I want to share with you right now is a story that many of you have probably heard, that is my ice cream story. And in this story, it was years ago, and I had fallen into the anxiety trap. And I was experiencing anxiety all the time, and that anxiety led to fear of food. Well, one thing that I was not afraid to eat was ice cream. And so, after a day-long struggle with trying to figure out what I felt safe eating, and there was probably 8 to 10 foods on that list that I felt safe eating and like I wouldn't die or something wouldn't happen to me. And after an all-day struggle of that, it would finally be after dinner. And at this point, I was not eating much food at all. The caloric intake was really low. And so I've always said that ice cream kept me alive. And so after dinner, I would have vanilla ice cream. And you may go, vanilla, if you're going to have ice cream after dinner, why wouldn't you choose something with just more flavor? Well, it's because number one, vanilla was the safest for me to do. And because it didn't have a bunch of added ingredients, I found an ingredient label that had 4 ingredients on it. That was it. So I felt safe. Vanilla also brought back memories of when I was a child. And my family always bought vanilla ice cream, and then we would put our toppings on top of it. And so it was this safety, the security blanket that ice cream brought me. I felt safe. I felt warm. I felt loved. All of those things that we go to look for from outside sources, I was feeling with the ice cream. And we do this when this is an associative craving. We do this when we have had an experience with food when we were younger. And then when we're adults and we go to eat that, it just floods our mind with those experiences when we ate that food. Maybe it was something your mom made you, or maybe it was an incredible celebration that you went to when you were younger and food had this different flavor to you and you began craving it. It's an associative craving. And I had that with the ice cream. And so every night for several years, I ate a small bowl of ice cream. And my body during this time had cannibalized, had just really lost a lot of weight, probably 20 pounds worth of muscle mass. And 2025, and here I am eating ice cream. And it was it was a very interesting time. It was very special because during that 15 minutes it would take me to eat that ice cream very slowly, I felt so safe. And then when it was over, the safety was gone. It was very short-lived. And that's what happens with these types of cravings. We try to find a holistic feeling from it, a wholesome feeling, a feeling that will just stay with us. And unfortunately, those feelings don't stay with us. That happened for several years. And then all of a sudden, I felt a shift happen. And in this shift came the realization that this was no longer really beneficial for me anymore. It became more of a stress signal for me. It became, I would have those thoughts in my head like, oh, you shouldn't do this. You've been doing this for a while. And what if you start gaining that weight back, right? That enemy just kept talking, whispering in my ear, making me feel like this was no longer beneficial for me and it wasn't going to be anymore. And when things like that happen, those experiences that once where we felt safe, we no longer feel safe, we're in a stress response and cortisol is being shot off. And then for sure, that ice cream was going to be stored as fat instead of being utilized as energy. So, talk about drama with my digestive system. Oh my gosh, the drama began because of that experience with my mind starting to play with it, judging me, making me feel guilty. The mind just had all of these creative ways to make me feel like this was the worst thing, the bad thing that I could ever do. And I was going to pay for it. I was going to suffer for it. And believe you me, I did start suffering. The digestion was going to pot, and it was not an ideal energy for me to be in when I was personal fitness training at the time, and I was needing to show up healthy and vibrant. And here I was with these horrific stomach pains. But that was all part of the journey, all part of the journey of me becoming whole again, of me realizing and understanding that my state, the way that I am in any given moment, the way I am showing up in any given moment is going to dictate my digestive capability. So I began on this journey of lowering cortisol levels, and my cortisol was all over the place. Lowering cortisol levels in my body, I began studying eating psychology, mind body nutrition, emotional resolution, our state, what's happening with it all. And in that, the discovery that, wow, that courageous, passionate, enthusiastic state that we can reside in doesn't lead to cravings, associative or otherwise. That type of state of operation leads to nourishing foods, foods that will truly nourish the physical body. So it's interesting. I'd like for you to take just a kind glance back to a moment when you were going towards a food that wasn't very beneficial for you, a food that you know wasn't healthy for you at the time. And what was your mind talking about? What was the experience at the time? What was happening inside of you? What was your state? And your state of operation is dictated by the thought in your mind. So, your mindset, it's dictated by your emotions, and it's dictated by the motivation behind the action that you're taking. So when we look at all of that and see why you chose a food, we can then determine that your state of operation was either below the line or it was above the line. And that is how we can begin to deal with and triumph over these food issues that we can have when we choose foods that are not nourishing, that are processed, enriched, and high sugar. We can eliminate that need altogether when we attend to our state of operation. So I just want to go with you a few little foods, nourishing foods that you could choose for certain states. And then we will also talk about foods that you can replace. All right. So here are some soul supporting swaps for you when it comes to nourishment. So, magnesium, you want to choose magnesium rich greens for calm clarity. Magnesium rich greens to be calm, to be clear of mind. Collards, kale, green leafies, um, arugula, spinach, all of those yummy, delightful greens will help you remain calm because of the magnesium richness in them and clear of mind. Then we have chamomile tea, which that is one of my favorites. Chamomile tea and Tulsi teas. Those, you can think of them as a hug for your nervous system. Those make you feel warm, safe, comforted. So if you need to calm your nervous system for any reason, choose chamomile tea or Tulsi tea. That will help you to calm that. Give your nervous system a big old hug. Now, if you are experiencing high stress, then there's a lot of free radicals that are swimming around. I call them little Pac-Mans. They're swimming around eating up all the good stuff. That's what they're munching on. And so you want to fuel yourself with berries because that will um, give those antioxidant joy bombs in your bloodstream so that you are not creating an aging process within your body. I think that's so much fun. And then in order to create stability within you, eat healthy fats like avocado, coconut, nuts and seeds, fish, eggs, olives are one of my favorites. Those are a big go-to for me. Just snacking on them out of the jar. They are so delightful. And that will help you to bring a stability to your body. What healthy fats do is they help curb hunger and cravings, because they help you to feel satisfied. They bring on a higher level of satiation than any other macronutrient. So try bringing healthy fats into your diet. And then we can always, every time we eat, we can always back it up with an affirmation because we want our state of operation, right, to be above the line. Our state of operation want to be positive because our mindset triggers our emotions and the emotion dictates the action we're going to take behind it. So if we can support ourselves with positive affirmations, I've got one for you. And it is, I nourish my state of operation with every bite that I choose. I nourish my state of operation with every bite that I choose. All right. So let's talk about some swaps that we can do that will, help you in making healthier, more vibrant food choices. So if you find, chocolate is good for us until it's not. It's like the ice cream was good for me until it didn't. Ice cream was good for me. It created a state of operation that was relaxing the cortisol. But the moment that it wasn't good for me anymore, it began creating those moments of higher cortisol. Chocolate's the same way. A food that you love, maybe you love the 70, 80, 90% dark chocolate. But if you begin to go overboard on it, then things are going to start to happen in your body that you don't want to have happen. So instead of chocolate, you could replace the chocolate with the chamomile, because chocolate, typically we want to do that because we are wanting to, maybe you feel in a frenzy, or maybe you don't feel clear. So you could relax the frenzy with the chamomile, or you can make sure that your next meal was really rich in greens, and that magnesium would bring the calmness and the clarity. If high sugar is your go-to, if you find that you are leaning into high sugar foods, then I recommend going towards healthy fats. Peel an avocado, half of it, mush it up, add some lime juice, some sea salt. You could also put in there roasted garbanzo beans. So if you like the bean snacks that they make, those are really good. You could put a tablespoon of those inside the avocado, and it would give you a little bit of a crunch while you're getting the wonderful healthy fats from the avocado. So that is something that you could do. You can mix anything inside that avocado as long as it was really um, wholesome and live type food. So if you roast your garbanzo beans yourself, you can stick those in there. Um, Red cabbage is also another really good thing that you can put inside the um, avocado. Mashing the avocado, putting that red cabbage in there. It also adds a little bit of a crunch, but it also gives you the really good fiber, and it gives you that carbohydrate combination with the avocado that helps to stabilize blood sugar. You could also put in sprinkle some roasted pine nuts in there. That would be really good. But a half of an avocado will go a long way to curbing that sugar need that you are having. I do have a printable that is going to go in the description of this show. It's a printable that's going to, and it's a free printable guide that will help you to find those replacements, plus an affirmation to go right along with those suggestions. So enjoy that gift from me to you. I just want to remind you that your state is dictated by you, not your mind, not your heart, meaning your emotional center from your gut, and not from anything else about you. Your state of operation is determined by the highest version of you, the whole person of you. And yes, we can think ourselves into a better way of acting and feeling, and it starts there, but we've got to follow through with the emotional impact behind it, because that emotion is what's going to be the driving force of you shifting your state of operation away from the cravings to feeling nourished, whole, complete, courageous, enthusiastic, and passionate. So begin today by taking a look at the food choices that you're doing and ask yourself, what state am I in right now that is creating the need for this food? And you may find that if you're craving those foods and going towards foods that are not nourishing for your body or your mind or your heart or your gut, then it could be that need could be backed by a fear-based emotion. And if so, then it's time to turn it around. Follow me for more. I'll be speaking more on this as we continue our process through to the next episode and the next episode and beyond. I look forward to seeing you next week as we continue to armor up our lives right here on Ashley's Heart Song.